Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, my pretties. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Now, Silas decided to share the info with me that we suddenly got a huge uptick in viewers, in particular from India, and this power bottom is wondering if there's any Indian women that want to get chokeslammed into a desk before their positions are reversed. That's the best I got. The best I got for a intro joke. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy me being right down and thirsty. And before we get into anything else, I just want to shout out real quick. I do my live streaming. Got a new poll over on my Discord server, which you can find in my link tree, deciding what I'm going to be playing after Tunic. Right now, the three choices are Dredge, what's it, a little Lovecraftian horror fishing game, Disco Elysium, Wild Out There RPG, and Forgotten Hand, from what I understand, a whimsical, Metroidvania. So if any of those sound interesting to you, or you want more information about them, join my Discord server, go over to Future Games, and you can find the poll there. You just react to one of them. So yeah. Anyhow, is there anything you want to go before you get to your little rambling topic, Silas? One of them?
Yeah. I wonder how many are female listeners and how many of those are male listeners, because they're all from PodLP. So that's an app that basically collects no information whatsoever. They don't even have accounts on that app. It's literally just a classic podcatcher app. It looks at a feed and you can click play and then it gets the file and downloads it. That's it. That's basically all it can do.
Okay.
So, yeah. I remember, though, from an interview with, what was it? An episode of Decoder where what is he called? Nilay Patel, the editor-in-chief? Or is it editor-in-chief? I don't even know. The guy who runs basically the Verge.com website. Editor-in-chief. Yeah. He said that on the Verge.com, they basically have 50-50, or I think it was 60-40 split between males and females. But on YouTube, it's 95% males, because that's what YouTube decided should watch these videos. So that's
YouTube channel? Okay.
Very interesting. Yeah, they have a Verge YouTube on the Verge YouTube, on their channel. That's what I mean.
Yes.
One thing that I think is really cool is that OBS now allows AV1 streaming on YouTube. Nice.
So what's that?
A new codec for compressing video, which is cool because that means you can have the same quality now with AV1 that you had before with X264.
Is it better?
The H264 codec, the older one. 40% less data, but it looks the same.
Okay.
Or you can make it look a lot nicer with the same bitrate. So if you have shit internet, it's good because you can now use AV1 on YouTube and it will look a lot better and you don't have to use more data from it. Or you can turn your data down and it will look the same. I think that's really exciting. It's good for YouTube because they save money on bandwidth. It's good for the viewers because you don't have to
record a video.
You don't have to make.
Does it affect the audio as well?
I actually don't know. Probably. I don't know. I only heard people talk about it in general of live streams. What this eventually just means is you don't have to worry about, oh no, is the streamer going to have a 360p version? Because the full HD one is going to use the same amount of data as maybe not as a 360p version, but as a 720p one, probably. That's pretty good. You can only do it on YouTube, I think. I don't think Twitch supports it. Twitch doesn't support it. I think YouTube does maybe something else that I don't know about, but Twitch doesn't. You can bet your ass they're actually working on it, though. Because at least Amazon is, because Amazon, of course they are, because they're going to sell this to other companies to make money.
OBS, I'm looking at it now. What's it? The YouTube, what's it? Aussie MPS. I'm going to show all to see if I can find it.
That's not the encoder. You have to go to the encoder settings.
Oh, okay.
You need a supported graphics card.
Oh, well, what's the supported graphics card? Because I got 39 and it's not working for that.
At least Intel Arc is, because that was the first cards to have AV1 built in, which was the one bit where they were actually like revolutionary, the Intel Arc graphics cards. Let's see.
Actually, no, hold on. I got two now. I got, the hardware NVIDIA graphics card, blah, 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 H.26, which was the only one I could previously, but now I have HEVC.
That's not correct. That's the one that hasn't caught on. HEVC is aka H.265, the successor to H.264, but nobody uses it because it sucks. And also licensing issues.
Thank goodness you mentioned. What, licensing? What do you mean licensing?
Yeah, to put this into software and for companies to use this, they have to pay whoever invented H.265 for like patent rights and shit. That's the reason why a lot of Linux distros now can't play videos by default, because it's like, oh, H.264 and H.265 video compression, that's like patented. Watch out, because you have to pay like thousands in licensing fees. So you need Intel Arc A series, so A700, blah, blah, Intel A graphics card. Or
what about NVIDIA?
AMD 7000 series or NVIDIA 4000 series.
Oh, come on. It's not even working on like the 3090, the big flagship from the 30 series. That's insane.
So on my end, I can actually say I selected YouTube instead of the Aircast restreaming thing that I used. And now in the encoder settings on output, it says SVT AV1. I don't know what SVT means. And then AOM AV1. And then the regular HEVC and H.264.
This is more just like a question for the audience. I'm just wondering what are like your personal daily hygiene routines, you know? Because this is somewhat relevant. Very late start today, and before I got to a podcast, I went for a shower and then did a bunch of other stuff to freshen up after that. Like, what's the stuff you do daily? If like some people do shower daily, I tend to alternate for water conservation reasons, but all like a bare minimum of things I do every day. And I do wonder, audience, what's yours? For example, mine, I have a face scrub, then a more in-depth, slightly acidic one to break up after that, which then I wash away. And then I apply like some moisturizer to my face and other various body parts. And if it's on a day, particularly where I don't shower, I also use a little bit of body wash for the essential areas. You know, the unmentionables, the pits, get in the feet. And yeah, that's basically what I do every day to make sure I'm smelling fresh and clean and feel great, which I also would mention, when I was wondering why put in that many steps. Like, just you feel like you're taking care of yourself, which is very good for the mental health, just as a activity you can do daily without like taking up a lot of time, a lot of effort, you know. Just a quick scrub of the face, and it's like, yeah, I did something to make sure I'm not a complete slob today, and I feel good about that, and that it just releases the happy dopamine in your brain. But anyhow, what are your daily hygiene routines, viewers? Do let us know if there's anything good that you think might be quick and easy for a lot of people to do that a lot of people know about, or if you just want to share what specifically you do. Comment down below on the YouTube video, or like email us, or if your podcasting platform supports that, comment as well. Anywho, and also if you can like individual iTunes reviews now as well for each episode, give those individual episodes 5 stars. Thank you very much. But I think that's everything. No days of the years that are notable, right?
National Technology Day.
I mean, tech is commentary.
Yeah. And also, what I liked is National Eat What You Want Day on the 11th.
I mean, that's just every day I do. So
nice.
Topic number 1: Discord plans to make everyone change their username. Like fools, like bloody fools, somebody slapped them upside the back of the head. Discord has announced plans to change its username system, requiring users to create a unique username with an @ symbol similar to Twitter and Instagram. Why? Just why? The platform currently has 150 million active users who are identified by a name, hashtag, and 4 numbers. Yeah, like that's it. That's all you need. You know? The Discord says the change is to make the platform more accessible, but it already is. It's just like a different thing that's not as similar as what's at Twitter, but it's like it's the thing. You have your name, and then you can change like particular usernames for each server, like a nickname, which is fun, but you have like a proper username as instead of like an @ behind it is identified by a hashtag of numbers. It just is the thing. However, some users have criticized the move, suggesting it could lead to impersonation issues. Yeah, that is also a thing. Like, you have your thing right now, and people know it. But what if someone moves, like, a Project Melody, they grab that at first, but before Project Melody, and then it's like, oh, well, now I just have this impersonator to deal with, so great. And again, that's just a very specific example, but it's like, yeah, this will probably be an issue for a lot of people and known by a specific like identifier right now, and then things become up for grabs when you have to create a new @ It just seems incredibly foolhardy. You really shouldn't do this. This is like too late into the game for this kind of change. You just have your system, and that's how it works. You can make improvements to make it more secure, fine, but like this is just like an overhaul to be optically similar to what's at Twitter and Instagram in a way that I don't approve. The change will be implemented in the coming weeks with the order determined by account age. Oh god, that's even worse. Like someone who just has like an older account could like before from like the launch of the thing, someone became like a VTuber in 2020, 2021, has a decent success, has a specific like username that somebody else grabs with the @ Like, you know, that's and yeah, you had some questions. You think this could do it to improve the experience or cause more problems? I feel fairly certain about that. Do you have any different opinions there, Silas?
I don't think it's actually going to matter very much. I think that it's just going to be more annoying to use in the future.
I just don't want to change. It feels
If you've
unnecessary
used
at this length in
Instagram or
time.
Twitter before and you try to get a username, it's already taken before. It's already taken. It's gone. If you look at any Instagram page, it's like, oh, I don't know, like cute cat __ 1879.5, and that's the username.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what your goal is, Discord. That's dumb.
Yeah, like you can just have the name and then the hashtag with those numbers to add the uniqueness to it, but like people just focus on the name. It's like way better. It's basically putting the @ as the hashtag after the proper name you want, and then having the numbers come along after, like, signify what unique one it is. You know? I just think it's better, It's just a better system where people can for understandable reasons, for example, like various VTubers or whatnot, want to identify as Lich, as in, a necromancer in the lore and have the name. They have different icons, all that, but they all go for the Lich thing, and then they just get a different string of numbers after it with the hashtag. I think that's fair and fine, and it's not like just more accessible and better because you don't have to include that. You can just like do the @ for like in a particular server of like Lich, and then it selects them with the number after that. You don't have to think about that, but it is there as a signifier. It's just worse for multiple reasons.
It
Anyhow,
is.
2, how might this change impact the way users interact on Discords, especially in terms of privacy and security? Well, I
I'm expecting
impact
a
the
lot of
average user,
YouTubers.
not a lot, but like in terms of privacy and security, again, this will just leave, like you said, to YouTubers, to Twitch streamers, to all
Yeah.
that, who are like have not been on the account since its foundation. and came after the fact when it became more of a success, even if they have been streaming or making videos like years on end, will probably have a lot of people jank their names because they're older accounts.
Not
What
only
are they to
that, but
do?
also imagine you're Linus from Linus Tech Tips. His Twitter thing is like at Linus G Sebastian, I think. So I don't know what his Discord is. Let's assume his Discord name also is Linus G Sebastian
Mhm.
5178 or some shit. And then those numbers go away. If he doesn't change his name, do you know how many people will attempt to message him and add him as a friend because now it's like obvious which one he is, unless
Oh,
he changes
yeah.
all of his names on like his name on Discord. That's the dumbest
Yeah,
thing
that's
ever.
I completely forgot about that. There's like you're there on Discord, you can peer other forums, but there's like a slight level of seclusion generated by the numbers of people not just being
Yes.
able to at you in every server. That is like good. That is something I forgot about. Like it's to build an internal community, whereas like it's Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. That's an external platform. What's it? Not community, something base, external fan base or something where like you're outward facing and other people can interact with you and you can promote yourself via that. Whereas like Discord is simply, like a place for people already in on you, like your stuff or like a similar group on hobby to meet up and just hang out. It's not for promoting it necessarily in and of itself. You know?
There's
That's
many
like really
YouTubers
good.
that collaborate using Discord, mini
Oh
streamers,
yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
maybe they use different accounts for the stuff they use, like within their YouTube friend circle and then on their public servers. Maybe
Who
not.
knows? Who
Nobody
knows?
knows
Like,
except for them, but this is going to make it probably a lot worse.
yeah, it's gonna be terrible. Anyhow. What challenge might arise as users transition to news?
We
Again,
basically
just
already said that,
jenking.
yeah.
Jenkin. Just a Jenkin. Just a
Just
Jenkin.
sucks.
Yeah. And number 4, how could Discord address the potential impersonation issue resulting from just don't do the change.
Yeah,
Please
don't do it.
don't.
I've
Please.
actually
I don't.
cancelled my Discord Naruto and I've put in a reason why. I put other
Yeah.
and I put the shitty new username system. Don't do
Please
it.
don't. Please don't. I like
hate it.
something, I like the way it is now. The way it is now is like good for multiple reasons. It's just like visually different from what's it Twitter and Instagram, but it's not like that hard to pass, especially because like you typically just join a Discord server and know people via that. If need be, they'll just share the what's it particular name via DMs or another platform if you want to directly communicate with a particular person for any reason. It's not that complicated, you know?
What I don't get
I
about
really
this,
hate this.
what I don't get about this is that Discord have said most people don't remember their digits, which
Yeah,
I
'cause
think that's a stupid point anyways, because you can just click on it and copy it. First of all, that, but also
they don't need to remember it. They just need to share it with people, and they do that by highlighting it. Do you think I remember my at every specific moment of the day? I'm glad I got at Passion Sword on Twitter, but it's not something I remember every single waking moment. You know?
Really, I do. I also get this. I also remember my mobile phone number, which is like 12 digits or some shit. I also remember
I barely don't.
my postal code, which in Germany is 5 numbers. Ooh, that's what Discord developers are scared of. Whenever they have to enter their zip code into an online form to pay for some shit, it's like, oh no, where do I live? What are the numbers or letters, whatever the hell you use for the
remember my postal code, and I'm like dyslexic. It's like, it's not that complicated. You know what? 5 codes for you. I have to remember what's it like to do 7 over here in Ireland.
Is like different, right? You have
Well,
I think you have a postal code for every house, don't you? Is that not what it is? So
yeah,
that's different already. Probably better.
yeah. It's not only that. It's like, okay, what region is this? And then house. It's like,
yeah, we just have like vaguely like parts of cities.
yeah, that seems far worse and like less specific for the mailman. But anyhow,
it's
back
fine,
to the
though. Yeah,
Discord thing. before we go on a tangent.
They also said,
Don't change, please.
yeah, don't change it. They also said most, or I don't know if it was most, but a lot of friend requests that get sent don't reach the correct person. How do you think this is going to change this? If suddenly I have to remember, oh yeah, my Discord name is Silas on Linux Discord _1.
I have to question like the truth of that, you know? Because like if I've ever had to like send a friend request,
it has always worked every single time because they just copied and pasted their fucking name. Like, this is
not
bullshit.
only that, but it's like, oh, okay, hold on, let's see. Just example.
Either that or I get like spam friend requests already from like Discord servers from like scammers.
Just literally clicking in person on a server I was already in on Discord. I click on the profile and then send friend request. And now it is sent and arrived at the right location. It's done. It's literally just done. Right now.
Another thing that really bothers me with the naming scheme of things is, why does it need an @ Why does every username nowadays have to start with an @ Why is it not just a username? It's stupid. It's not just
it is just...
It's part of the name itself.
I feel like that is to like have like accessibility. Again, the specific...
Really?
This is why I like the @ coming after with the numbers on Discord. It's like, for example, some other people could reasonably want like Passion Sword as well, because like unaware of me have been using it, and you know, we just have like a similar thing. They're like an IOL thing. They're not overlapping on the character, anything. It's just like two other people using Sword and being passionate about it and want @Passion Sword. So that's reasonable, but it's like having, well, Sword Passion Project is what I want to say. Basically having the specific @ be different from like the actual name was like Sword Passion Project on Twitter. It's like je ne sais quoi. Just very, very useful, because then I can change it out. I change it with a little red dot and live when I'm live on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube.
But you can do
being
that
able
too.
to change the name while having like a fixed @ is good.
Yes.
Whereas like you don't really have that necessity on Discord, you know? You don't ever need it in that sense.
That's another point where it's like not...
Again, like
make a lot of sense. That means you're going to have three different names. You're going to have three different names. The @ name, your display name, and then the name that's in your server profile on Discord for every single server. Why?
But it's like Discord, it's like what I said, it's just an inherently internal, you know, platform. Whereas like Twitter and Instagram are external, where you're going out and presenting stuff to people. Either people who, you know, a significant amount of them already follow you because they like you, but like also potentially new people with every post.
Yeah. One last thing I want to say about this kind of, I don't know if I don't get this. I am against this. I think this is a stupid change, but I don't understand why people right now are saying that this is going to lead to impersonation, because theoretically this means that every name is going to be unique, right?
Well, no,
right now, I can name myself Linus Tech Tips. Right now, nobody knows if 5373 is actually Linus Tech Tips' number. Nobody knows. Well, he knows. But I can just claim to be the official one.
He can verify that. And he himself on other platforms can say, hey, this number here ain't me. Fake account. Do not trust. You can then just like dox and claim that it's wrong, you know? Like there is stuff to do there. And again, it's more like the whole thing is like impersonation in this regard is like someone's going to be able to jank them with this because of the way they're setting this up. Older accounts going to go first. Whereas like content creators are probably going to be disproportionately newer because they come to the platform after it is more established. A vast majority. There's some people always jumping on the newest thing just in case, straight away. God bless them. But that ain't everybody, and it's going to lead to some issues. This is going to lead to some issues. It just is if they follow through on it. Whereas like right now, you can just like condemn.
Speaking of which, at SilasVT at techup.social on Mastodon, thank you. I'm gonna have to migrate to another account. At Silas VT was a stupid name for a Mastodon account. I don't know why I put VT there.
So let's hop on to the next. That okay with you? A Chinese PC maker, Powerstar, rebrands Intel CPU as the P3-01105.
That name scares Discord developers.
I will say, for no other reason, this just sparking a thing in my brain. Apparently, Jedi Survivor has a lot of droids in it, and that makes me so happy. I'm so sad that the droids went away. Like, I get like the original trilogy came out before the prequel, so obviously couldn't take part in that. But I really hope they just kind of reemerge back into Star Wars canon. You know, it's like, oh, we just for reasons didn't focus on them in these films. You know, for whatever reason, because like logistically, it's like, you know, the order the films actually came out in. I do wish other films would just start including them again, because I do love them. I do love the droids. How about a Jedi that just like makes and repairs a bunch of droids and has them as an army? That'd be fun. That would be fun. Oh god, I hope the Cal gets one of like battle droids. They can just fold up into a backpack. You know, the thin ones, the kind of yellowy ones, to take with him and aid him in fight. I wish that's an upgrade. God, let that be an upgrade, please. I need it. I need it so bad. I need it so bad. Anyhow, where was I? This is from TomHardware.com. A Chinese computer manufacturer, PowerLeader, has launched a new processor and desktop PC. So a new processor and desktop PC, the Powerstar, which is suspected to be a rebranded version of Intel's Core i3 Comet Lake CPU. The PowerLeader processor is described as extremely high performance, and x86 compatible. A PowerLeader has not mentioned any partnership with Intel, and Chinese tech news media has made no reference to the rebrand. The Powerstar will reportedly be launched soon with a target of 1.5 million Allen's annual sales. So they basically just ripped off the Intel thing.
Yeah,
as
I think they just take the
China's want to do. And this is great.
Yeah.
That's great. In response to Harukazi 5719's tweet about this Powerstar P3 another Twitter user pointed out that we are looking at is almost certainly an Intel Core i3 Comet Lake CPU. The following clues conveniently point to this. A physically lugged heat spreader design and other physical characteristics. A physical substrate design is identical as far as we can see. A silk screen print format on the IHS is the same. The PowerLeader processor name slightly jumbles Intel's compared. Oh yeah, those are just the same set of numbers, isn't it?
Yes.
They are both marked as capable of a 3.70 gigahertz base clock. Last but not least, the QR code on the upper right of the Powerstar's is said to be to match Intel's. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was very funny to me.
China is very literally just like...
China is so interesting to me because they have a lot of smart people there and a lot of smart people making new things, but then also things like this happen.
Yeah. Again, this is kind of the problem with so much manufacturing being sent over to China just for like a logistical reason. We can just do this. And like so much of the operating is done over there that we can't logistically stop them.
Not for Intel though, not their Intel chips. They make their own chips. They make them in the US. And I think package it in like Malaysia or Singapore.
Yeah, then I have to wonder how the QR code matches then. Because if they're not literally just ripping off a chip, literally just like janking off the Intel name and sampling on their own, if they're actually going through the steps of recreating it one for one, why is the QR code the same? That seems ludicrously stupid.
That's how AMD started. They would scan, like, what is it? Like X-ray Intel's chips and then exactly copy it for a number of years until they made a deal with Intel to actually license their stuff. And now AMD make their own chips. It's no longer just ripped off of Intel. I don't think that's feasible for this, though, because it's like very small technology nowadays. That used to be very easy to do. I don't know, they just copied it. Speaking of Linus Tech Tips again, in one of his podcast episodes, he talked about, he has a screwdriver. He makes a screwdriver. It's apparently very good. If you believe any screwdriver reviewer ever, it's a very good screwdriver.
He makes a very good drink. Like, what can we say? He knows. He's an expert mixologist.
No. An actual screwdriver. You think that's funny. It kind of is.
I do appreciate it. I thought about it quickly enough, especially as someone who does not drink. Like, I'm happy I know the name and it came to me quickly enough for it to be a timely joke.
And the word mixologist. What a bullshit name that nowadays is.
I mean, again, if you can actually properly mix drinks, I feel like that's a fair term to throw at you.
That annoys me almost as much as every second tech job in English being called engineer. Like, what the fuck is up with that? Like, English? Do Americans like not feel special when they can't call themselves an engineer in their job? Electrical engineer. Software engineer, support technician engineer, fucking random shit.
Well, again, I feel like that's appropriate. You're like constructing and maintaining various things. Which I feel like engineer...
Bullshit. Snowflake language bullshit.
I mean, a lot of them do also have to have like a master's in engineering. So it's like, maybe that's where it comes from.
I don't think
like
it is.
So many people have technical expertise from college. They wanted it at some point just included in the job description,
yeah. So Linus talked about how they were developing the screwdriver, and while trying to find companies to make the screwdriver, they also looked in China. I don't know where exactly it comes from now. It's made in Canada enough so they can brand it made in Canada, whatever that means. But
he's a Canadian, I would assume, right?
Yeah, but
then it's just like a bit of nationalism, like hoorah, made in my country,
Yeah, but parts come from China, I think, because he talked about how they were looking for people to make. I don't remember what it was, but some part for the screwdriver, and they just sent a screwdriver. I think. I don't know if they sent like a model screwdriver, a development version, or if they even just sent pictures. But they definitely didn't send the company, the manufacturer, like blueprints and stuff, how to make it. And within days, they made an exact copy, an exact thing. Of course they did.
You sent them a physical thing. It's like sending a signature over to a renowned counterfeiter. Of course they're going to figure it out.
But how is it that good then?
Thing.
Because he talks about how amazing it is, like basically perfect without any plans or anything. So I'm not surprised that they've done this.
It's a whole expertise of like quickly copying things,
Yeah, it's a skill, I guess.
Like how does a baker make a cake look absolutely fantastic, like a piece of art? It's their expertise. They've dedicated years, personally and collectively as like an industry, to perfecting and mastering the skill. Of course they're disproportionately good at it. They've set themselves up to be. It's how it works.
Moving on, yes.
Fair enough. From Tom'sHardware.com.
Yeah, smuggling continues.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not surprising either if you've listened to a few episodes ago with the 6,000 SD cards. Yeah. Smugglers were caught in Hong Kong trying to transport 70 computer display cards. Why have I put display cards? Computer graphics cards hidden in cargo containing 280 kilograms of live lobsters. 117 pounds, apparently. The GPUs are suspected to be
Okay.
older entry-level NVIDIA Quadro K2200 cards, which is from 2014, by the way, so that's really weird. The cargo, valued at around 600,000 Hong Kong dollars, or 76.5 US,
Mhm.
was seized as it attempted to cross the Hong Kong Macau Bridge. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I
I think that's right.
apologize.
No, I think that's really
Zhuhai,
close.
Macau, probably, maybe, I don't know. Smuggling is common on the Hong Kong mainland China route due to the attractive markup caused by zero sales tax in Hong Kong, compared to rates up to 13% on the mainland.
I guess,
Still
yeah,
really interesting, but like
that 13% on like every single one is like, okay, that's like a lot of money. If you like give half of what you save to like the people smuggling, then that still is a noticeable markup compared. Oh, God,
but
I'm
why
so.
smuggle
Mhm.
things from 2014?
Yeah, look at
Mid-range
that
or
total.
entry,
Look at that total value. Look at that total value. 13% of that no longer has to be like paid in taxes as you sell it. Like that's a lot. That's God. We're looking at what's it
is it
over
though?
$7.65,000. Yeah, enough for smuggling. Again, like do you think like smuggling this?
76.5.
No, 7.65 thousand because it's like roughly in terms of like
What?
US dollars. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
the 13% you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, well,
That
okay. I thought you
little over
just
that.
read the number wrong. Okay, I apologize. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit higher than that because it's 13%. I'm just taking the 10%
Yeah,
value. You can throw a little bit extra onto that to get like fully accurate. But like, if you just pay someone like $2,000 to smuggle it, you're making out. You're making out. You
yeah,
know?
but I've looked it up now. You can get up to 10 years imprisonment
Yeah, but like,
for smuggling things into China.
well, isn't this out of
Really?
China? Because it's smuggling from the mainland to
From
what's
Hong
it, Hong
Kong
Kong
into
Kong.
the mainland. No, Hong
Oh,
Kong
my
has
bad. Yeah.
0%. China has 13 tax. It's
Then yeah.
into China, into. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to risk going for 10 years for $8,000. What's that
Well,
like?
no.
Oh, I could work for like 3 months or do this. No, I'm not going to do this.
Well, you gotta admit, like it's a one day. For one day, you can make the money you do in like 3 months. And what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Again, smuggling's fairly common. Like for like every one we
And
what's it
go to prison.
catch, there's at least two we don't. You know, that's the thing. They,
That's not a reason to do it.
I, I know, but like eventually people just fall into the routine of doing it, thinking like, I've done this so often, I'm just not gonna get caught. And sooner or later, well, not sooner or later, a lot of the time people just get unlucky before they stop doing it. But some people bail out eventually without getting caught. Just a fact. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's like risk reward. It's like, okay, if I get caught, it's 10 years. But I'm not super likely to get caught. And the reward I get is the equivalent of like 3 months of work, you know?
So, what? You support doing this?
Not support, but
No.
it's like, I'm just explaining the mindset, you know?
I mean, that applies
If
to other
there's,
things too. Now that we have
I know, but it's
Indian
like, if there's
listeners,
not, it's not,
like,
if there's not like a huge risk of a negative consequence, and the negative consequence isn't incredibly bad. The 10 years is still bad, but it's not like a death sentence or like life imprisonment bad. So some people might be willing to risk it, especially like older folks who just want that money as well. And it's like, yeah, I'm getting up there. Like any prison sentence is basically a life sentence anyhow. So let's start rolling those dice for myself or my next of kin and see what happens. See what I can get away with.
it also says between 100 to 500% of the evaded taxes can be part of the punishment. So
I guess, but it's like,
that's theoretically a lot of money, and they can take the property that you tried to smuggle. That makes the most
yeah, I mean,
sense. That's
yeah,
obvious,
that's just
right?
gonna happen. But in terms
Yeah.
of like the taxes thing, it's like you're getting paid in cash for doing this. You probably like have it stashed or passed on to somebody to keep it hidden. You probably have very little yourself in your own name. You know, you would like if you're doing this, it's just like you're renting an apartment. Or like that old where you would have just like left things to your kids at that point. Just for again, if you're doing this as well, how much would you legitimately have to lose? You know, that is also the thing. If they don't have a lot to lose, then like the negative repercussions aren't that bad. It's like, well, my life is already shit. It's gonna get slightly more shit if I do this, but like I don't have anything to lose in this scenario, so I may as well.
Let's see.
That's the
Average
thing. When people are
income.
doing, for the most part, doing well off, like it's a massive risk. They have to be very greedy and want like a lot more, or desperate and need money quickly in order to do stuff like this. Like statistically, there are still some people who are just like, okay, this is easy, let's do this, or yeah, I don't care, give me my money,
So the
give me money for
average
doing crime.
income, average salary for a male person working in Hong Kong is $2,430. So
But
this is like
in a month,
per month, yes.
yeah, but this is like you could be working and do
That's
this
like
on the
half a year
weekend.
for that, yeah, for one day.
Wait, no, say that again. I misheard you. This was like,
$2,500 a month. Let's say that. Let's round it up.
and oh yeah, two
So
thousand
that's
five
like
hundred dollars a
half a
month.
year almost. Is it? Kind of.
What?
Maths.
What? In specifically to the amount you're saving here? Because like,
To them, well, not half a year.
also it's like you'd probably be paying
3
somebody else
months.
less.
Yeah, 3
You
months,
know.
maybe 2.
Well, no,
Have
it
to
would probably if it's
pay
2,500 and you're paying somebody like 2,000 to do this. Like it's like
suddenly,
nearly a
yeah,
month's salary in like one day of work.
suddenly seems a lot less attractive to me having looked up the actual wage of people. Like, if you made a lot less money than this, I'd be like, okay, I get it. But if eventually you end up with, I guess it's because it's in one day, it's still impressive. But like,
Yeah, it's
that's
like
not
it's
good.
that, but also you could like desperately need money. You could be in debt to people. There are like other circumstances that affect this. If you have a gambling habit and then suddenly, oh, I owe money to the wrong people, well then here we are.
At least I think we can both agree that this is not the worst crime to do. Like, honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not actually that bad, is it?
No,
At
but it's
least
just like a regulatory thing that I understand the government doing because like it provides the infrastructure for people to do these transactions safely without like it becoming Mad Max. So it's like, okay, here's the taxable percent here. You're gonna give this to us, so like we continue maintaining all the infrastructure, like the roads used to get to places, education used to like get trained and intelligent workers, and so on and so on and so forth.
I can get more behind this than I can some other like shady kind of business things. Like, now that we have Indian listeners, I'm sure Indian people hate these too. Those people, those scammers that will call like an old grandma and be like, oh, your computer has a virus. You'll have to let me onto your computer so we can clean it. And they'll
Oh my
run some
god.
random commands, and it costs like, oh, we fix it now. Pay $2,000 for lifetime security now. I've watched. I like, but that's the one of the few things I like to watch or listen on YouTube. That's like kind of audio based scam busting things where people fuck with those scammer people from all around the world. A lot of them seem to be from India
Fair enough.
because you do like one call and you get like $2,000 payment or some shit. It's like insane. It's like what would be good money, like a good salary for someone in Germany or Ireland or other European countries. But in India, that's like mad money. So
Yeah.
fuck those people. But oh, you've put some SD cards into a bike. So to save 13% on the taxes to the government,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
that bad. Like, It doesn't take
I
money
mean-
away from. I mean, it kind of takes money away, but like the government is going to find it anywhere else. It's
Well,
fine.
again, I don't have a bunch of like super duper moral objections. It's just like the logistics of like, yeah, like everything gets taxed a little bit because it will maintain the infrastructure to do all of this safely through various means. Like I said,
Yeah,
physical infrastructure to transport things, the workforce, through education, making sure everyone stays healthy with like medical services and like things like the pandemic don't get super out of hand as we've experienced recently. Tax money goes towards that. It's a whole thing. I don't have any moral objections to what they're doing. It's just like
but don't do it.
logistically, if they got caught, fair enough. Yes. Yeah, go to jail for like a not absurd amount of time. And the products are then seized and they're sold by the government or something. Fair enough.
Don't
Fair
take
enough.
old people's money in the form of Google Play cards because you called them on their phone.
That's bad. Anyhow, I have a stronger moral objection to that because that's elder abuse at a certain point,
Yeah. And I like, every time I read the comments there, it's like, oh, Indian person here, fuck these people. That's not real Indians. Those are scammers and everybody hates them. And I absolutely believe it.
Yeah.
We have
I mean,
shitty call centers like that in Germany as well. Now, not as much now anymore because nobody uses their phones anymore here anyways. Not even old people really. So that's not that surprising.
That and like legislation to deal with that. That is the thing. It's like the reason like why isn't China Microsofting like we saw with the other one, just blatantly ripping off the Intel 3 chip, It's like, well, it's not really affecting anything within the country. If anything, it's benefiting the country. So it's like, we're not going to stop this. It's like other countries are suffering from this. So it's like, meh.
What's like a what's it called? Like a random sheriff in some random fuck town in Midwest America going to do about an Indian guy who called and took $2,000 from you? Nothing will happen. Basically nothing.
I don't even think the FBI would be able to do anything about that just because like another country thing. Anyhow, because we did so. If I'm
like the international police things, they have very much other things to worry about that are actually immediately dangerous. So that's
Microsoft Edge will soon hijack Outlook and Team Links by default. Okay. Thank you, Tom Hardware. That seems inappropriate, but whatever. Microsoft explains it will be changing the way links open in a Microsoft 365 Outlook and Team apps, causing dissatisfaction among users. Previously, clicking a link would open it in the user's default browser, but now links will open in Microsoft Edge by default. That's so bad, especially if you don't have it installed. Like, I just use it. I like Edge, but it's like I don't think it should. I don't think it should just open an app by default. It should open by default in the default browser.
Yeah, you can't uninstall
that's
Edge.
That's arguable.
You literally cannot uninstall Edge via normal means. Maybe you could like hack it in some way. If you just go to the regular software center in Windows 10, you can't uninstall it. I've tried doing that because we're getting a new PC in my workplace. And I put Firefox on it because that's what I and my boss like.
You know what? I was going to say that's like outrageous, but it actually makes sense to have like a default like browser installed that can't be deleted for the sake of being able to download and access other apps, How are you to get Firefox installed without a browser,
Yeah, well,
I feel like
you type in winget install Firefox and it installs it with the package manager that Microsoft now has, which Linux had since 1993, I think. But most
think
people
a lot of people
not
know how to
do that.
Yeah,
most
Windows
don't
even know how to. So it's like
you should learn how to because it's actually awesome.
I get it's awesome, but how many people need or want to do that is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
To the point, I get why having like a built-in browser that can't be deleted is just like a good safety thing.
Yeah,
but like it should not be forced to like have this be the default thing.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That is beyond dumb.
If you remember when Windows 11 came out, you couldn't even set a default browser. You had to set it for every single like file and website type.
Oh god, that's so bad.
You had like 12 different things to click through to set it to Firefox
That's
or Chrome or
so
whatever.
bad. And I've had a good time with Windows 11. I like the look of Windows 10 a bit more with the various panel things. I'd want that back. But like Windows 10's been all right to me so far.
Windows 11.
Sorry, 11. My bad. Yeah, but like really frustrating. Microsoft claims that this change is for the user's benefit. It allows easier access and a side-by-side view, whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. However, users' IT administrators are not happy with the change, accusing Microsoft of forcing its browser on them. Yeah.
Exactly, that's what it is.
I don't think it's an accusation. We have the evidence.
Microsoft.
We have the signed confession. It's not an accusation at that point.
I mean, they literally
it's
did
just
this.
a fact.
They literally got sued for this with Internet Explorer in the 90s. There was literally an antitrust lawsuit.
Oh my god. Well,
one of the like 2 times that the American government did anything against monopolies.
I feel like this is
just
going to be another lawsuit about to happen then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But Microsoft, here's a news flash. You have a feature called Windows, and you can just put a Firefox window next to Outlook, and then copy the link and put it into the Firefox window. Or click the link and it opens up the window anyways, and put that next to it, side by side.
Yeah, just have like the browser be set to Firefox, or the Internet Explorer thing. Have that open when you click the link, as opposed to the Edge one, or the Chrome one, or the whatever else. Microsoft concludes its support post by stating, ultimately though, if this experience isn't right for you, you can turn off this feature the first time it launches Microsoft Edge, and then in Outlook setting at any time after that.
At least there is an option. You don't have to go into the fucking registry or some shit.
It's not even like, at least it's an option. Like, that sentence is inherently self-defeating, admitting like, oh yeah, not everybody's gonna want this, I
think most people just won't care though.
No, I will, because like if it's your default browser, another one opening up is like frustrating. You want it in your browser. I feel like no, like most people won't get these like you said, like the file install system that you were on about earlier, won't get that. But when a different browser opens up from the one they're in, it's going to be inherently frustrating. Dare I say, I would copy the link from the Edge, close it, and then open up a Firefox tab, just because like a lot of users I want my browser. Like this is my default browser for a reason. I like it. I trust it. I want to use it. Don't open up another one. And like this statement is inherently self-defeating, saying like, oh yeah, some people aren't gonna like this. And like Microsoft Edge, for the people who do want this, it could just as easily be the default browser. So like, who is this fixing things for? Who? What benefit is there to doing this?
Microsoft's fixing it for Microsoft.
No, it's not fixing it. It's like doing the thing, and they probably should get another antitrust lawsuit thrown at them for this.
Have they like changed how search works? I remember when I used Windows 10, you type something in the search bar. Usually it would never find it, even if you wanted to start a program or look at like a locally stored file. It would rarely find it and normally just show like a link to a Bing search. Is that still around? Because that would also open in.
I don't even remember that. I guess like that's weird.
Do you have search on Windows 11? Try it right now.
Let me try. Yeah. To do XN. Search the web. Yeah, that's the thing. It did bring up the app out of all of them. When it's selected like all things you can possibly do, it brought up the app, which is the only thing that like perfectly matches, which is where it's at, which is what I'm looking for. And it's also like a search. So let's click on that. Okay, it does do Bing still, despite Google being my default one. Yeah, so that's bad.
I made a short comparing the search in Windows 10 to the search in Pop OS.
That could be something.
Is a lot nicer. My favorite thing from the short that I just talked about, the short that I made years ago or like 1 year ago about search in Windows 10 compared to search in Pop OS Linux. My favorite part of that is where on Windows 10 I type in pictures, and the number one result is system settings, change password. And it's like, why? Why is change password the top result for typing in pictures? Why wouldn't it come up with the pictures folder? Nobody knows. But that's really funny to me. That's Windows search in a nutshell to me.
Oh, that's silly. That's silly. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else we want to go on about. I will just call out again. New poll in my Discord server. You can find in my link tree, affecting what I'll be playing on Saturdays after Tunic. We got Dredge, we got Disco Elysium, and we got Forgotten Anne. More details about that in the Discord server, in the channel Future Games, and just click one of the actions to vote. Blank choice, you can shift your vote after the fact, but you only get the one. So, yeah, is there anything you want to do before you do the proper wrap-up?
Not really. I'm fairly excited about a new update for Fountain. Apparently, they're going to add the lit tag, a lit support for podcast feeds, which is live streaming and podcast feeds. That's going to be maybe interesting to play around with at least once. But like you have to set up your own server and stuff, so it's more complicated until companies adapt it more. But at least that's a cool new possibility.
Sorry, what website is this?
The Fountain podcast app, fountain.fm.
Oh, and you can stream to that now. That's neat.
Well, no, not stream to that. You can put a live... Well, you have the RSS feed for the podcast, which is just a text file, and that has a lot of text in it, right? Like podcast :title, where the title is for the episode, stuff like that, or podcast :person, where it will have information about me and Sod in it. And there's also a thing called podcast live item, which you put information in for when you do a live stream. And then you can set up a live audio server like Icecast or Shoutcast or Azuracast. All of them have cast in the name, all of them. And then you just drop a link where that feed is, a link to that server into the live item tag, and some more information like the title of the live stream and when it's going on, stuff like that. And then the apps can grab it, and if they support the live item tag, you can listen to it live. Doesn't have a chat functionality for now, because that's more complicated to figure out than listening to a live audio file. Live radio has been a thing for the internet for literally decades, so that's not very new. It's just new in podcasting. So that's a new thing that we may look into. I think I would have at least more than the few number of apps that support it right now until we start giving it a try, because it's fairly complex to set up. But I think we can see this become a thing in the future, with podcast hosting companies maybe adding this as a feature, so you don't have to set it up yourself. You just use the server from your hosting company. It's exciting. It's very exciting. Open standard. Everybody can work on it. Everybody comes up with ideas. Very quick changes to it. That's it. I'm just kind of excited about that. There's so many things. There's so many things being proposed.
Yeah.
Well, let's get out of here. Turn on the outro song.
Thank you very much for listening. Yes, write a review. 5 stars for every single episode. Comment if you're on the YouTube channel. And also, if you're listening, go sub over there. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Follow the link trees for the podcast and me and Silas. And it's time to say ta-ta, Wiedersehen, until we meet again. Bye-bye, my pretties.
Send us an email, uploadingpod@gmail.com. Stories, suggestions, questions, everything. Bye.